Hey everybody, how you doing out there tonight? Well, it's not tonight, is it? It looks like night. It's dark here, I'll tell you that. Up here in Michigan, we got 9 in here. Moonlight, saw you over at EECC. How you doing, buddy? Carson is here. Traveler Bus, Mr. 500, Eddie Lugo is in the house. Yo, 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 boy. Who else we got in here? We got Laura. Let's take a look over here. Okay. Man, I'll tell you what, guys. YouTube has not been very kind to us so far this week with the uploading. We have a premiere. Our day 8, the final daily vlog for the Carnival Dream is going to debut at 7:15. Catherine Concepts, how you doing? Making sure I didn't miss you, buddy. This is Laura's job usually, but Clock's Family Adventures, how you doing? We set in one of your lives earlier this week. You did a nice job. Really, really cool. All right, so here we are. I'm going to revisit a couple of the news stories I covered earlier in the week, as promised. This whole program is about talking about the big news stories from the week, bringing you up to date on what's been happening today, and we can talk about what is going on here. Let's see. Should I turn anything noteworthy here? Big breaking news story right before we went live. Yellowstone is coming back in 2 weeks. Who watches Yellowstone? Hashtag Yellowstone. I got to break out my Western style shirts again. Okay, guys. So here we go. There's a couple stories that I covered on our channel earlier this week. If you had a chance to see those, great. And if you didn't, you can revisit them if you would like. I'm going to start with Norwegian, the news that I reported earlier about Norwegian this week. Norwegian came out and launched its first ever military appreciation program. They're following suit with both Carnival and Margaritaville at Sea. Margaritaville at Sea, they raised the bar for everybody by offering free cruises and discounts and all kinds of really cool stuff for veterans. And Carnival's been honoring veterans with their veteran ceremony on board all their ships for several years now. So now Norwegian is going to offer a 10% discount on all cruises booked after January 1st, 2023. You can book the cruises now, but they got to be for sailings after January 1st, 2023. Military veterans will get a 10% discount, and they're going to give them special pins and patches that are specific to each Norwegian cruise ship. And it applies to all 18 ships. So it is a pretty cool thing that they're doing there. And so we commend them. We commend Norwegian for stepping up and honoring veterans. It's a very, very cool thing. Next up, Carnival came out with some bad news and some good news, depending on how you look at it. I'm going to start with the good news. I like to stay positive. And here we go. A long fought for and complained about perk that was removed during COVID-19 protocols was priority boarding for diamond and platinum level guests. That did return. They officially brought that back, and several of my good buddies are platinum and diamond. Warmstrong, he's diamond. He was happy about that. My only again, this is cruise news, and I share my opinions. And I mentioned this in the original news vlog. I don't know how you can get on board any faster, guys. I really don't. I don't know how you can get on a cruise ship any faster than you already are. The only thing I can think of is they pause and stop everybody and just, bum rush the rest up there. But I'm telling you, the COVID-19, only two good things I can think of came from it. Number one, the e-muster drill on all the cruise lines. You no longer have to stand, shoulder to shoulder, front to back, jam tight on a deck, looking at a lifeboat in the blazing sun and heat in Miami, Port Canaveral, Tampa, wherever, Galveston, sweating while they try to get everybody quiet enough so you can hear them explain the process, the muster process. And man, that would take 45 minutes and you'd be all sweaty, and it just was just such a buzzkill. So the e-muster drill, great. The other thing they did is they streamlined the boarding process. They made it so much quicker and faster. And it doesn't matter if the ship's packed or not. They still get you on the ship 2 to 3 times faster than they used to. Now, we sailed on the Mardi Gras week in February of this year, 2022, and it was nearly full capacity. It's like 95% capacity. There was over 5,000 people on that ship, plus crew. We didn't wait. We went right through the line, and before we got processed, all of our stuff processed, they waved us on board. They called our group. Our boarding group was called. So after they looked at the last thing, stamped the last thing, and let us go, we went right in line walked on board in a moving line. It wasn't like you stand in a line. It was like a mass exodus of people out of the terminal onto the gangway. So it's been like that on all the ships except for 2. When we went on Celebrity, the Millennium in April, they had really nice terminal, by the way, guys. They're in Fort Lauderdale. Probably the nicest terminal we've been to, Celebrity's terminal. Not that that really matters, but it was very, very nice. And we were able to get through the process really, really quick, through security really, really quick. And they made us sit down. And I looked at my watch. We sat for like 3 minutes, and then we went right on board. So that was it for Celebrity. And then in New York, back in would have been August of this year, the New York terminal was kind of a mess. They were disorganized, and that caused us to have to sit down for about 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. So with that, I don't know. I don't know how you can get on board any quicker, but we think that's awesome. And they also brought back the Platinum and Diamond party. They put that on hold for a little while, and it's back. I'm not going to kill the our vlog that's coming out at 7:15. Shows a little bit of a Platinum and Diamond party, and I'm not going to give that away. So hopefully some of you guys will stick around and watch it. Then the next good news from Carnival was Carnival officially took possession of this celebration earlier this week, and it began its process of sailing from Turkey to England. And so that was really cool. Good news from Carnival. Now the bad news from Carnival. Now this really has a lot of people upset. They're still complaining about it today, and it's kind of, I don't know. It doesn't really impact us very much at all. So I can't really complain about it, and I understand it. And if you think Carnival is the only one that's going to be increasing prices on food and other services on board, you are in for a rude awakening, guys. I say this on our channel over and over and over. I've been saying it for over a year now. When one cruise line does something, the other ones fall right in line and do the same thing. They all do the same thing. So we'll see very similar things with all the other cruise lines. When I say the other cruise lines, I'm really talking about 2 other cruise lines, Royal and Norwegian, and Carnival. Those are the big 3 guys here in the United States. Okay, so they increased specialty dining from $42 to $48, and we all got this in an email. If you're a Carnival avid sailor, you got this. And they call it the culinary update. The next thing they did was they told us that ice cream was no longer going to be available 24 hours a day. It was going to be available from 11 a.m. to midnight. And finally, and this is the one that's got people just acting really silly over on the VIFP group. You're allowed 1 entree and then a second complimentary entree. All entrees after that are going to be now charged $5 per entree. So the people that do, they get on a cruise ship and they act like they're on the ESPN eating contest, and they try to eat, 8 or 12 lobster tails. Now you're going to be paying $5 for each one of those lobster tails beyond the first two. It's they have to do stuff like this, guys, for different reasons. And one is there is cost involved. Two, there's cost not only in supplying the food, but getting rid of the food. Food waste is a very expensive process, processing food waste on board. You guys need to watch Life of the Cruise over on Amazon. Life of the Cruise takes you through a MSC ship, what it has to do when it pulls into port to get the existing guests off and get the ship turned over and loaded up with new guests. And they go into all kinds of different behind the scenes things you don't even think about when you're boarding a cruise ship. And one of them, they talk about waste, dealing with waste and how that works. And there's a lot of work, guys. It really is. And the cruise lines are all trying to come off as being more environmentally friendly. I'm really stuttering tonight. I didn't do my red leather, yellow leather speech practicing before I got on, so I'm stumbling a little bit. So that is an issue. Food waste is an issue. They're trying to be more environmentally sound. All right, so now we're going to get to what is more current that I haven't covered on our site. And we're going to go back to Norwegian, okay? And this is a pretty cool story, guys, because a lot of people think that Carnival is the only cruise line that's been having trouble with their propulsion systems, and that's not true. The culprit has been the Azipod systems from ABB, the company ABB. They provided propulsion systems, Azipod propulsion systems for multiple cruise ships across the cruise industry, multiple cruise lines. So Norwegian just won a lawsuit against the ABB Corporation here in the United States and in, I believe, Finland. They won a settlement, $159 million settlement. It was a jury case. It took 2 weeks to deliberate to come to a conclusion that they would be awarded that money. And it's good. It's good because that company has cost these cruise lines all kinds of money. I mean, all of them. The Horizon was the most recent one that was really a mess. They had to send it a dry dock it, and it was dry docked for, I want to say, almost 2 months before it was back up sailing. And it was because of this Azipod propulsion system. It's a really neat system, but the bearings fail, and they fail at a high rate. And if you remember, the Vista and the Panorama and the Horizon all were having max speed issues. And instead of telling you it's the Azipod propulsion system, because people are like, what you talking about, Willis? They don't know what you're talking about. They just say, we can't hit max speed. And you'll look and you're like going, because you can go like Cruise Mapper and different websites, and you'll go, what, they're going 17 knots, it tops off at 20. It's not that much of a difference. But over that long journey a ship goes over, it has an impact on how far it can get, and more logistics come into play. So that is a really good thing. And I'm sure the other cruise lines are going to step up and sue these guys too. So, I'm a firm believer in these companies being held accountable. When they're selling you what they deem to be a high quality product, it should deliver the goods. Next up, Bermuda will finally drop the $40 travel authorization form, and they're going to go with a free arrival card instead. So great news. That's another thing people have been complaining about for a long time over the COVID restart with Bermuda coming back online. Now, keep in mind, guys, Bermuda is a wealthy nation. They make their money off the insurance and reinsurance companies over there, and tourist dollars are no longer king there. So they could afford to keep the cruise ships from coming back for as long as they wanted to. And then when they did let the cruise ships come back, they came up with this travel authorization process, and it was a mess because we went through this back in August. You have to pay $40 per person. You have to send them all of your documentation showing you're vaccinated, your current boosters, everything, all your COVID information, your COVID tests, all that had to go to those guys. And they were real slow getting back with you. Laura actually had to call them and get a human person on the phone to get them to finish processing our paperwork about 5 days before our cruise. So now you're not going to have to pay the $40 anymore. I'm sure they're going to still have some kind of process where you're going to call them to get authorization to enter the country, because they're calling it the arrival card. I haven't heard any information on that. But originally they were going to delay doing away with this $40 travel authorization. But now they are eliminating it 3 weeks sooner. So effective November 14th, 2022, no more of that nonsense, which is really cool. All right. Okay, I'm going to get to another story here. We have another bad one that caused a lot of people to get really hurt feelings over on the Carnival forums. Carnival increased the price of their pre-cruise purchase price. Of their 12-pack of water from $4.95 to $9.95. Works out to 83 cents a bottle. I bought a bottle of water today at work for $1.75 on dry land. So yeah, it's an increase of $5. Yeah, whatever. I've seen today that Royal charges like $28 for a 24-pack of water. So, again, they kind of mimic each other, guys. All right. Now, Porthole Cruise Magazine released their Reader's Choice Awards, and Carnival won 4 of them. And let me see where that is at. I got it here somewhere. Okay. Give me just a second, guys. I have to check something. Oh, good news. That's good. All right. Bear with me. All right. Here we go. Of course. All right. Here we go. I just got a notification from YouTube that I have a copyright infringement on my day 8 vlog. It's some of that music. And I'm telling you, man, probably only about 8 seconds of it. I don't care. I'm not going to monetize it. I'm running with it. I'm not going to let it stop my creative process, right? Okay, so Porthole Cruise Magazine. Here's what they did. Carnival, the readers, okay, this is the Reader's Choice Awards, basically. Carnival has been recognized once again in the annual Porthole Cruise Magazine Reader's Choice Awards, earning top honors based on reader surveys in 4 categories, including Best Cruise Line for the Money, Best Themed Cruise, Best Signature Cocktail, and Best Cruise Director. Okay, so the best cocktail was the Cucumber Sunrise at the Alchemy Bar. And I think we've been to Alchemy Bar a few times. And that happens to be one of Laura's favorite drinks, if not the favorite drink. And the best cruise director, Lee the Cruise Director, Lee Mason, was voted the best cruise director, which is really, really cool. And we are very, very, happy for Lee. We sailed with Lee 2 times. And guess what? We're going to sail with him again. And I think 14 days, guys. 2 weeks from tomorrow, we're going to be sailing on the Celebration with Cruise Director Lee. Carnival also earned Best Cruise Line for the Money by providing an affordable vacation experience. I already said that, but complete with a wide range of complimentary onboard options like delicious burgers from Food Network star Guy Fieri. Some guys call him Guy Fieri. Fieri, to exceptional entertainment choices like Playlist Productions and Punchliner Comedy Club performances. In addition, Carnival is also recognized for its themed cruises and won the title of Best Signature Cocktail, and I already brought that up. So we are good to go on to the next story. So yeah, I was looking at my phone, guys, because it finally finished processing. I've been uploading day 8 all day, and it finally finished processing. And like I said, they gave me a copyright knock. luckily I don't need YouTube to pay the rent here, the mortgage payment. We got jobs for that. Okay, now the elephant in the room, the big cruise news story of today. Can you guys guess what it is? Can you guess what it is? Anybody? Anyone? I'll give you a guess. What is the big news of today? All right, I don't see. Yes, Funnelheads. Lee Mason is terrific. Such a great guy. We're friends with him on all the social media platforms. He watches our channel. He comments on our stuff on Instagram. I'm friends with him on his personal Facebook account. In addition to his cruise director account, he is just awesome. He's a great guy, super nice. The first cruise director I reached out to before a cruise, and I was asking what the theme nights were, and that guy answered me like instantaneous, and just a great guy. Okay, yes, that's the news. Eddie Lugo hit 500 today, so that's what we're going to talk about. No, I'm just joking. Get out of here, Brooklyn. You got your 500. Now get working on that second 500, pal. Just messing with them. Carnival Celebration, guys. Carnival Celebration is at sea. It left Hampton, Southampton, England, and it is at sea, man. It is out there. It is sailing. You're going to see an endless assault on the social media senses over the next 2 weeks as everybody and their brother is posting pictures and videos from the celebration as internet will allow it to happen. So it's going to be really, really cool, really, really exciting to see that ship sailing and to see where it's going, which is Miami. And we will be on that cruise ship. So we are very, very excited about that. Let's see. Yeah, let's Southampton. Seeing what else I miss here, guys. And yeah, if you go on Cruise Mapper, let's see what I'm gonna do here, guys. It's like I'm like everybody's dad. I'm gonna do a dad thing here. See that? The little red arrow. Focus. That's where the ship's at, guys. Oh, so that's really good news. It's floating. And it's out there and it's running, and that is we're really happy about that. And yeah, so with that, the Carnival Celebration is going to be very interesting because they're going to do the naming ceremony here. It's going to return. Well, not return. It's going to get in Miami on Sunday morning, and then the crew has to turn the ship over and get it ready for the naming ceremony and whatever takes place on board. I've never been involved with that. We don't know what they do, but there is a naming ceremony, and I guess that is when they will, formally have the godmother of the cruise ship to do her thing, and it's Kathy Lee Gifford's granddaughter, and I guess she's an actress. I forgot her name, and she's the godmother of the celebration. But they have a big celebration for the celebration, and it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. And then we'll be boarding the ship on Monday morning. So it's really odd that the ship will come and sit there for a whole day before you get on it, because normally people are racing to get on it while people are racing to get home at the same time. Boy, that's just a whole chaotic process. How that works, getting everybody off and everybody on the ship at the cruise port on that same day. What craziness! Now, it's only going to be a 6-day sailing, so it's going to be shorter than normal, and but we're still excited about it. We're really hoping that we're going to get into Miami on Saturday. We're hoping we can catch the celebration coming into port Sunday morning, but we're not sure that's going to happen. All right. So let's see. Cruise Vet, how you doing, buddy? You just ordered your WS hat and plaque for the wall. That's awesome. And yeah, guys. So what do you guys think about those price increases? Is they going to keep you from booking cruises with Carnival? I know it's not going to impact our decision. It's still the best value, man. I'm going to tell you, it's hard to beat Carnival when you're just looking at the value, how much it costs, and oh yeah, we're going to have frugal cruisers and uh, uh, Rally Creative Travel, Blaine. There's going to be other people. Parkers on the Go are going to be on that ship. High Seas, Cindy and Paw are going to be on that ship. The Cruise World is going to be on that ship as well, which is really cool. And we actually have plans with we have plans with I hear myself talking. Laura's walking around with her phone in the house. Um, the Cruise World's going to be on that ship. We have dinner reservations with Cindy and Paw, High Sea Cindy and Paw. If you guys aren't following High Sea Cindy and Paw, I strongly suggest you do so. They produce some really high quality content. Cindy is just really good at her editing game, and her creativity is really high level. And they provide a lot of great information. They do more like they do a lot of food reviews. They've got a series called First Bites, where Paul, takes his first bite of something and tells you his reaction to that new food that's on board. They did that with Mardi Gras. It was really cool to see. So they're going to be on there, and we're going to Bonsai Teppanyaki with them. I believe it's going to be the day before Thanksgiving that we're doing that with them. We're going to try to get dinner with Mark and Steffi from the Cruise World. We talked about hooking up with Frugal Cruisers and getting a drink, and See the World with Chris is going to be on there. There's several, man. We have a private group, content creators for the celebration, and I believe there's 19 people in the group, but some of them are spouses. So I would say probably about 10 or 12 channels. And I volunteered to be the meet and greet guy for that. So we're going to meet and greet. We're doing it at the Golden Jubilee, the really cool bar, which is the same location as the Brass Magnolia on the Mardi Gras. I've been studying the deck plans, guys. Having been on the Mardi Gras, I'm very familiar with the layout of this ship and how everything is basically on decks 6, 7, and 8. You still have stuff on the top decks, but the heart of the ship is 6, 7, and 8. So it is, you got center stage. They might call it something else, something different, but it's really going to be cool. Instead of having the New Orleans theme, the celebration has a Miami theme. So it will have a different feel to a different vibe, but a similar layout. So if you've been on Dream class ships or Vista class ships, you know what I'm talking about. It's going to be, similar. Like, you're not going to get lost, put it to you that way. So yeah, there is a lot of vloggers that are going to be on that one, and we are excited about that. Kind of crazy to I mentioned to Chris, Sea World with Chris was an admin. Hey Siegel, how you doing tonight? He's an admin of that group, and I asked him, if do you want me to plan a meet and greet, because everyone was saying we should get together, and he told me go ahead and do it, and then he made me an admin. So I was like, all right, buddy, and so we got that rolling, and hopefully, the only thing bad about Wormstrong, man, the coolest guy here. Usually, he's not here right now, but Wormstrong isn't here right now. He is going to be on that cruise as well, and he volunteered to help us secure seats. That's the hard part, guys. If you're ever an admin for a Facebook group, or and you're going to do the meet and greet, or you just volunteer to do meet and greet for a Facebook group, you have to get to whatever establishment you're using very, very early and secure as many tables as you can. So if you volunteer to do that, make sure you ask for volunteers in your group to help you secure those seats. And if you don't get there early, you're not going to have enough seating for your group. And we had that happen. We learned that the hard way at one of our meet and greets. It didn't even get off the ground because we could not get a place to do it. So you have to really think that through and use your strategery to make sure you are ready for it. So we're really excited about that. And guys, I just want to, before I tune out here, I just want to remind you that we do have, yesterday I didn't do our day 7 for the Carnival Dream as a premiere on accident. I thought I had more time, and the thing uploaded so fast it shocked me, and it went live right away. So 7 was uploaded yesterday. 8 is going to be our final day on the ship. Is going to be uploaded at 7:15 Eastern. So in about 45 minutes or so, it's going to go live on our channel. So if you get a chance, check it out. And yeah, we've had this channel for a year and about 4 months, I think, something like that. And yeah, a year and 4 months. Like next week, it will be officially 4 months. And we are, when we first started, we really didn't know what we were doing as far as what our end goal was, what our mission was, other than just sharing some memories. And I made the mistake of intentionally avoiding doing the traditional day-by-day vlogging because I thought everybody does that. Everybody's already doing that. And, and they're better at it than I am, and we're all about sharing tips and giving you, like, I joke around, call my pro tips, sharing tips. And, cruise news is our biggest thing on this channel. And that didn't happen by design either. It just happened because there were so many bad news stories about COVID protocols early on in the restart that I posted something and someone's like, hey, I clarified something that was being passed around incorrectly, information shared incorrectly, the wrong information being shared. And I had several people tell me, we really appreciate your cruise news. And I'm like, was that cruise news? And so it just kind of happened that became the thing. So our thing is we love to post when we're having fun, when we're goofing around with something cool, something interesting, something that just looks awesome. And those are the things I was trying to capture. And believe it or not, that's actually harder than doing a day-by-day cruise vlog. It is, but it's different too. It's almost like hunting. I'm not a hunter, but I can imagine, you're in the woods and you're looking and you're waiting and you're looking for something cool. And in the woods, you're looking for whatever you're hunting, the snipe to come up so you can get it. So it's kind of like that. Now, the vlogging is you try to keep it interesting, keep it fun. And I believe you just do a representation of what you do while you're on a cruise and try to give people a feel for what life is like on a cruise ship. So our first official shot at doing day-by-day vlogs was in August on the Magic. And we struggled. We had our boys with us, and we were trying to have family time and just getting caught up and relaxing and enjoying time with them. And I missed a lot. Right? And I was like, oh my goodness. So on the Dream, I'm really proud of how we advanced between the Magic and the Dream. And I got all the content out within 2 weeks of the ship, getting off the ship. Tomorrow, or 3 weeks. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks that we've been off the ship. So within 3 weeks, that's pretty good for 8 vlogs. And in the middle of that, I did a bunch of cruise news. I did 2 cruise news vlogs while on the Carnival Dream. And I did 4 more just this past week. So, we stay busy. Hey, Paul, PSV Odysseys, we stay really busy with work and everything. And I do my best. And unfortunately, I do a lot of my editing and uploading from my iPhone. And I'm trying to change that. So we'll see how it can happen. So the celebration, expect those vlogs to be better because I'm getting to a point where I've got a better handle on this. And I have some really big plans. We have a couple different theme things we're going to do. So we're really excited about that. And the other problem, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is just because there's so many vloggers in here, guys. We have this issue. Parker's on the go. How you doing? We have this issue where we're trying to get And when I say I'm the one that does all the gathering the footage and posting it, right? But I'm trying to grow our TikTok, our Instagram, our Facebook at the same time as I'm working on our YouTube channel. So I'm doing a lot of vertical, up and down recording, and then I'm doing the horizontal and the widescreen. And I try to get footage of both. So when I film something, I'm like, hey, try the shrimp, it's delicious. Then I'm turning it the other way. Hey, try the shrimp, it's delicious. I'm doing everything twice. And sometimes the situation doesn't allow that. So I'll capture something really cool vertical, and I want to put it in our YouTube channel horizontal. And so, it's really crazy. And if you fill the screen with a vertical shot, your quality isn't as good. You're not 1080p anymore. You're like 360p, and it gets blurry, and it's really crazy. So it's hard to balance. So that is something I'm still trying to work on. And then the other thing that's really irritating about YouTube is all this copyright nonsense. So it's really aggravating. Whereas TikTok and Instagram, I can use any music I want because I'm not monetized over there, and I don't care if I'm ever monetized. I don't care about that. If we make money doing this, it's great. Who's going to say no to money? But I like I said earlier, I just got a copyright knock on this vlog that's going to go live here at 7:15 because there's probably, I don't know, 18 seconds of a cover song. And that's what really irritates me is it's a cover song. It's not even the actual song. It's a cover of the song. And so that one will not be monetized. So I will not make my 72 cents off that video. And it hurts me deep down inside. So if I can keep 97% of them monetized, we'll be good, I guess. Hey, Warmstrong is here. And I was just talking about you, buddy, before you got here, because I slipped my mind. I was naming all the who's that's going to be on the Carnival Celebration. I mentioned Parker's. I mentioned See the World with Chris. I mentioned Blaine. I was going through everybody, and I forgot the king of cruising, Warmstrong, my diamond buddy from here in Michigan. Yeah, so we're really pumped up to see him. And I told him he volunteered to help me wrangle chairs, buddy, at the Golden Jubilee. Now, I've also been doing that. I had someone leave a smart aleck comment. I've been sharing John Held's tours and videos he's been sharing this past week on a celebration. I'm like, I'm just going to share it right to our Facebook page, man. So I've been sharing it right there. And I said, this is from John Held. I'm not trying to say, hey, I did this or misrepresent it. But when you do that, it can still, because he was tagged in it, his followers, like I'm a follower of John Held, were seeing it and thinking that, don't realize I'm sharing it on our page, and they're seeing it and they're like, John Held already shared this. I don't know why you're sharing this here again. And I'm like, oh my goodness, lady. I had to call Laura off of her. Laura's getting fired up. Don't get Laura mad. Laura gets mad, and then she wants to go after people. So hi, Will Goodman. How you doing, buddy? So it's kind of funny, but why not share that information? He does a great job. We love John Held. And so I've been sharing some of his stuff, and we're excited, man. We're excited about going on this cruise. So that is the biggest news story of the day, guys. Carnival Celebration out at sea. And we are immensely, excited about it. It's so cool. And I don't care that it's nearly identical to the Mardi Gras. It's not the point. It's just going to be so cool to say we were on the U.S. inaugural sailing of the celebration. I joke around and brag that we were on Mardi Gras during the first Mardi Gras sailing. But you know what? That was by accident. It was really by accident. And let's see, what do we got here? And Dana, how you doing? Yeah, Laura is the bouncer. You can't mess with Laura, or you can't mess with, I should say, you can't mess with me, or you can't mess with our kids, because Laura will go after you. And I have to call her down, seeing who else is in here, anything else going on. Again, Moonlight, I saw you earlier. Clock Family. Make sure you guys get over there and see Clock Family Adventures channel. Subscribe to him. You guys, while you're still in here, man, do hashtag creator. I hope everybody's following everybody that's in here. If you're, it'd be much cooler if you were. You want to be cool, right? So, yeah, man, Eddie Lugo, that guy. Now you're doing Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. Eddie Lugo is what a class act. The guy's in everyone's lives, and then he goes on his channel and promotes your lives and your videos you're uploading, whatever you're doing. He's promoting everybody's stuff, and I mean that is so just admirable. I wish I had the time. He said 5150 again. That's cool. I wish I had the time to do that. And I'm hoping that once I retire, I can pursue this stuff in a full-time capacity just because I love it. That's, I finally spilled the beans to a couple of guys I work with and told them that we do this. Now, they already think I'm crazy because I'm going on cruises left and right, and they're like, man, you like going on cruises. None of those guys cruise or anything. And they're a bunch of skilled trades guys. And if you think back to like what it was like in 9th and 10th grade when everyone teased and razz each other, it's like that. It's like a fraternal order of knuckleheads. And we tease each other, make fun of each other. Even if it's something cool, you got to make fun of each other. And I didn't feel like, telling them what I'm doing. I'm like, whatever. So I finally told them, I said, this is one of the things we do, because they're starting to ask me questions like, hey, you got any pictures from your vacation? What's that like? And some of them are getting curious. Some of them are actually talking about possibly booking cruises. So it's kind of cool. So I said, hey, one of my buddies found our channel. He was looking for Disney content, and then they recommended our Mardi Gras Final Thoughts video for him. And he's like, hey, that's Eddie. And he watched it and he called me. He's like, man, you're like a professional YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not like a professional, but I'm like on YouTube. And yeah. And so anyways, I let those guys know what we're up to. And they actually been really, they've been really supportive about it and pretty cool about it. So no teasing me, which is cool. I don't really care if they tease me. I don't like, you know what I don't like doing, guys? I don't like explaining myself to anybody. I'm too old for that now. There's something that happens to you once you get to a certain point in life where you no longer seek the approval of everybody, frees you up. That's why I can sing Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman, proudly in a room full of people, the top of my lungs. That might be on the vlog, guys. It's coming up here at 7:15. So now, I don't know what we're going to do, guys, as far as we have our live stream Tuesday. We're going to be on there. There's no special guests this week. We had two people that we wanted to come on, two different channels. We've been trying to get Siegel on for a while, but she's kind of like us. She is always cruising. So we're trying to time that. We might have to do something with her after the first of the year. We had another one that we were going to have on, another big channel, kind of like a big channel like EECC, that big of a channel. And she told us that she will do our she'll do our live like after the first of the year, because she's booked up as well. And so that's pretty awesome if we can get her on the channel. These big channels, guys, most of them are doing this as a full-time job, and they travel twice as much, as 3 times as much as us folks out here that travel excessively. They're still traveling more than we are. We will be at 10 cruises. Did we do 10 cruises in 2020? Well, we've been, I don't even know how many cruises. I think we're running up at 8 this year by the end of the year. We go on Celebration. We come home for 6 days. We fly back to Miami, and we get on Oasis of the Seas. And that'll wrap up calendar year 2022. And then you guys all know about the Vlogger Extravaganza, which is in January. A lot of you guys are going to be on that as well. So that is when we're going to really get to hook up with a lot of people. Oh, and then the other thing, the ship shape segment we do on our channel. I haven't done any updates. I did update a couple days ago. I've been doing them less often, and people might be thinking, "Oh, he's not working out," and you would be wrong. I am down nearly 12 pounds in 3 weeks. I believe tomorrow the scale is going to tell me I'm down over 12 pounds. I started back eating and on my diet and training strict the day after we returned from the Carnival Dream, which will be 3 weeks tomorrow. And Laura is down over 16 pounds. So she is killing me in the weight loss department, guys. And I'm going to the gym 5-6 days a week and working every single day. So with that said, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. And a lot of you guys got in here a little late, and make sure, I don't want to go over the news I covered again, but I did cover a pretty wide range of stories. And again, I'm gonna go on record and say that we're gonna see price increases at the other cruise lines, just like Carnival did with their culinary update, where they increased specialty dining. Some of the cruise lines already did that. Well, Carnival did too. They increased their prices twice now in the last 12 months. But again, that's to be expected with the way, everything's gone up in price, guys, everything. And, the thing that is really crazy to me is, look at this stuff, Laura Jean. Someone from work found us on my whole company subscribed. I don't, I work with a lot of people, but like I said, none of them cruise. That's why we started on YouTube, guys, because we wanted to make friends that love cruising like we do. I mean, we are obsessed with it. Obviously, we are obsessed with cruising. We cannot get enough of it. And, it's our friends and family think we're crazy because we're going all the time. My mom's like, "What? You're going on another cruise?" So she loves it because our dogs are a full-time job here. So that's that. Oh, I will touch base on one other thing that was an issue on the Dream, and that was playoff baseball. And now people are going on the Celebration and other cruises that are worried about the college football playoffs and championship games and bowl games and NFL games and all that stuff. And you need to understand, man, if you're cruising during your sports season of choice, there's a really good chance you're not going to get to see your games. You just have to be realistic about that. It's impossible for a cruise line to show every major sporting event, every team. They can't do that. There's licensing agreements by all of these different leagues, guys. It's complicated. You're not in someone's basement, having a party on a Sunday evening, where you can watch whatever's on the TV. It doesn't work like that. When you are showing sporting events and paid situations like on a cruise ship, you can't just freely show that stuff. So it's a little more complicated. And on the Dream, they don't have a sports bar. And we are going to give you our final thoughts on the Carnival Dream here real soon. Laura and I are going to sit down and knock that vlog out, and sometime this week. I hope to have that up before the end of the week. So on the Carnival Dream, they only had sports playing in the casino, and everybody wanted to grab chairs from the machines, and they made like theater seating with these chairs. It was the craziest thing. I walked in there, I was like, what the heck is going on, man? And they were all in there watching the Houston Astros. And, we sailed out of Galveston, Texas. And at one point, the casino manager of the casino said, "Hey, we need our chairs. Get out of our chairs." And boy, that upset a bunch of people. So I'm saying that as I'm watching football muted while I'm doing this broadcast, go Rams. And just be flexible, guys. You cannot expect to see your team play. Just like you might not get to see your team play in your home state because you're a Rams fan and you live in Detroit and they're not going to show all the Rams games in Detroit, obviously. So it's kind of a similar situation. And just pack your patience and understand you're on a cruise, man. So you can always go online, get updates on the scores, and if you're lucky, your cable provider has remote access to an app. That's a pro tip, and you can watch your sporting events like you're at home, but you're going to watch them on your phone, right? Or your laptop. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you being here. Did I miss somebody? I see. Hi, Josh. Before I run, I don't want to miss anybody. I don't know which Josh it is. If it's Hat Pit with Barbecue. But anyways, guys, thanks a lot. And tonight at 9:00, I want you to go over to How We Cruise and check out Brian and Julie tonight. They have they're going to do the wrap up what they thought of the Prima, brand new Norwegian ship, the Prima. We're really excited to see what they have to say about that. We missed them guys last week because they were on a cruise. They couldn't do their live. We didn't get to see our buddies Josh and Amanda on Monday because it was Halloween. So we got some catching up to do with our good buddies, and they're awesome. Make sure you tune in, guys. Thanks again, and we will talk to you on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to have my boss with me right here. I'm actually in her chair. I'm pretending like I'm in charge of something. I'm in a good chair. But we'll be here. So good night. Bye-bye.